Hello, my name is Don and welcome to episode 37 of Follow my Football Manager Let's Play with Rangers. Another transfer special episode today. We just closed off the January transfer window. Bringing you back, as you can see, Zach Rudden is the young player of the month for January. Doing well again, 2 appearances, 1 goal and a 7.4 average rating. Maybe a bit harsh on Declan Rice and Jordan Elliott behind, who had both higher average ratings than Jordan Elliott, also getting 1 goal from right mid. Nonetheless, Zach Rudden doing the business again. We also missed out on 1 transfer target, this lad Tony De Brock. This would have been a massive signing, an 18-year-old, 6'3" defender. Just look at the sort of base stats he's got. Sorry, he's 19 now. I've been monitoring this lad for about 2 years, and I decided to make a move. This would have actually broke the Scottish transfer record that we broke in the summer. I'm actually maybe looking at his stats now and maybe a bit thankful that that deal didn't go through. As you can see, there's a lot of red there, some orange, but he's got very good stats in key areas, and I felt he could have developed into a very, very good player, but maybe not worth the kind of money that I was looking to spend. Part of the deal was that they had to find a replacement, and it fell through because they failed to find a replacement. Nonetheless, still a little bit disappointed. I have been monitoring for about 2 years, but he's maybe not developing the way I would expect to. Anyway, I'm going to get in. We're going to start with the outs and then go into the ins. It will be in order again, and we'll see how it goes. The first money out was a deal that was signed fairly early in the season, actually. If you remember, go back a little bit, there was a bid put in for Mark Mitchell. I couldn't get another contract on him just because he couldn't get a work permit because he hadn't played enough games. That deal obviously fell through because the transfer window in Spain shut. I offered him out for, I think it was 300k plus a load of add-ons. It took up to about 1.5 million and 50% of the next sale. So Mark Mitchell has left for 1 million plus 50%. I believe I would double check that. Clauses should be out. No, wait, in. Mark Mitchell should, yeah. So as you see, 50% of his next transfer fee will be owed to Rangers. So 1 million plus that 50% transfer fee is a good deal for the former centre of excellence player. I wish him all the best. I'm a little disappointed he had to go, but we had to get 1 million for him because his contract was up at the end of the season, and it's better getting 1 million now than what it would be losing him at the end of this season. Also going out, and maybe a little bit disappointing for some people, is the intercept master Vincent Sasso has gone out. We got 2.3 million for him, plus I think it's 500k after 50 appearances. He's already got 2, so that's good. Working towards it. He played 86 games for us and scored 3 goals, so he was a very, very important player for us, but I felt he was starting to decline and maybe wasn't the player he was. His actions in game didn't impress me much anymore. We also have some of that money coming over the next sort of 12 to 28 months, I think. I can't remember the exact time frame, but a little bit disappointing to let him go, but I felt it was the right decision for the club going forward. We've got other centre backs coming in, as we'll see in a minute, and again, I'm wishing him all the best. I hope he goes down to Hull and has an absolute stormer, because to be honest, he was one of the guys that I've really enjoyed having in this series a lot, and it was with a heavy heart that I let him go, really. But again, we'll have to make the right decision for the club, and the right decision was to let Sasso go. The first in that arrived at the club this year, there was more outs, but they were all loans, so I'll go through that at the end of the episode. But the first in was James Milner. Now, if you remember the last episode, I had him on trial. His wage demands were far too much, but towards the end of the trial, he was happy to accept a lower wage. 8.75, maybe a bit more than what I'd like to spend, but very good mentals, decent penalty taking, decent stats all round. Still a player that can offer at this level. According to my staff, he's our best sort of defensive minded midfielder. So I've given him a couple of games, see how he goes. I'll assess long term his future at the club and how we feel about him. But another very, very experienced player coming in to help with all these youngsters that we're bringing in. The next in is Fahad El Al-Anenzi, even. A good young striker who is Iranian. Now, this deal was done last year. I can't really remember all the details of it. 220k. There's I think there's a selling fee as well there. But a good young striker, 18 years old, Iranian international. He had to wait until he was 18 to make the move, which obviously happened in November, so I had to wait until the next transfer window after that. I've got him from training as a complete forward, which might look a bit bizarre when you give his stats, but I feel with his age, and he already has a base to build on, he's got good acceleration, good pace, good balance, good agility, good determination, good first touch. With all that, and very high work rate as well, and good technique, so he's got an ability to develop as a player. If I can get him to develop into a complete forward, will do wonders for our system. Having a complete forward, I think it's one of the regrets I have with Zach Run training him as an advanced forward when I should have trained him as a complete forward right from the off, purely because A, it trains more stats, and B, I think tactically for our system having a complete forward would be a much better prospect. The next in comes in for £4 million, a fairly meaty fee for a defender of this quality, fairly high wages as well. Is Joe Gomez, so £4 million, some of that's paid over the next 12 months, and I believe it comes with 20% of the next transfer as well. So it's a big investment for the club. He's a young English defender, potential to go far. I'm spending a bit more than what I would like while I'm on, spending a bit more than what I would like on wages on him, but kind of the thing that you've got to do when you sign a young English talent, unfortunately, simply because he's coming from Liverpool, and he's obviously been on a big wage at Liverpool, and he expects a big wage when he moves away from Liverpool, so we're hoping to defend him into a ball-playing defender. As you can see, he's got okay stats there, 6'2", okay jump and reach, okay heading, slightly quicker long-term than Sasso, but slower acceleration. But he's got a long way to develop if he's really going to cement a place down in our team. I'm hoping that he can do that. Although the determination worries me a little bit for that, but very good positioning, very good heading, so let's see how he develops. Worst comes to worst, we can just sell him on eventually anyway, and we've still got Ozturk and Devlin there to support him if this sort of fails. And we'll follow that on by bringing in another defender. This is the 19-year-old Dane Kenneth Larsson, who's signed from FC Copenhagen, where he played 5 games already for 850k, rising to about 1.1 million. I think there might be a sell-on fee on that as well. I can't remember exactly the full details of this transfer, but very good aggression, good bravery, a little bit to work on mentally already. I've got him getting tutored by Matthew Devlin to try and help with that. Okay tackling, teamwork and positioning to start off with. Heading's not brilliant, I'm sure I've got him working on that as well. But at 6'6", a young defender, I can mould him into very much a done defender. I think he'll be one of the tallest I've ever signed. But I'm hoping that he develops into that sort of dream defender that I have, which is just a big, tall defender who is just very difficult to get past. We'll follow that with another non-signing, if you like. This is a loan signing. It's costing us about 130k a month though, which I'm not keen on, and 6.5k a week in wages. On top of that, it's a loan from Leicester. It's a right back in Dominic Iorfa. This allowed Ronan Miller to go out on loan to get first team football, which I felt was very valuable for him at his age. And Iorfa is a very, very quick centre back, slightly better than Miller in a lot of ways. The money that I've paid to get him I'm not happy about, but it was the only real right back option that could come and compete with Tavernier. So I'm hoping he can do a job for 6 months while Miller goes out on loan and gets first team football. Next up is another young Scot in the name of Alex Telfer. He's a young Scottish striker who's came in from Ross County for 65k. I think there's maybe a sell-on fee as well there. But another young striker that can come in and hopefully develop nicely. I'm not going to retrain this lad as a complete forward. I'm just going to stick to him as being an advanced forward because he's sort of already struggling in a few key stats there, and we need to develop him. But his 16-year-old Scot can go very far in the game, hopefully, and hopefully we can develop this player into being someone that can rival for a first team place. I don't think he's ever going to be a first team player, but rival the likes of Rudin, Posibon and Elanazi when they develop into better players. Next up we have another right back that's arrived. It's 325k rising to 400k. It is Bjorn Marinov. He comes from 1860 Munich. Getting decent stats already. 5'6", not the tallest. His potential ability has dropped since he's arrived at the club. I don't know if that's something I've done or if it's just my scouts maybe got him wrong, and now the staff that are there are sort of disagreeing with what they said. So I was very, very happy to get this guy. Now I'm not so sure, but we'll see how he develops. Hopefully he can develop into something that can compete with the future right backs we have. He's not cost a huge amount of money. If we get it wrong, we can sell him on. And again, 18-year-old German, so we've got a bit of hope for him. And last, but certainly not least, is Steve Kelly. He also arrives from Ross County, another 16-year-old Scot from Ross County. This one is a central midfielder, very adept to playing in the advanced playmaker role. So we've got a lot of young players to vying for this position now, which will be interesting going forward. Again, I hope this lad develops nicely. He's got a lot of potential, and it'd be nice to have a young Scot develop with us as well, because we're being forced. A lot of the young players we're bringing in are being forced to be not from Scotland, which is a bit disappointing, but it's sort of where the Scottish development system is right now. So hopefully we can maybe start to see more young Scots develop as teams get more money and invest in their youth facilities. So the overall window, we've seen all the ins: Milner, Fahad El Nenzi, Joe Gomez, Kenneth Larsson, Dominic Iorfa, Alex Telford, Bjorn Marinov and Steve Kelly. On the outs we have Mark Mitchell, we covered. Vasilis goes on loan to Inverness Calais. Now, he was starting to impress me. He's got 3 goals in this season already, but I just felt he maybe wasn't quite there for us yet, so I decided to see if we could get him a loan that offered first team football. We managed to do that with Inverness Calais. Ian Curry, I believe I'd have called him from loan from Hamilton. He was unhappy with the loan, so I've re-shipped him out on loan to Inverness Calais. Hopefully he's a bit happier there. Similar story with Roddy McCrory. We called him from Middlesbrough. He wasn't getting any game time there. He was absolutely, well, he's abysmal on his morale down there. So I brought him back. We've sent him out on loan to Inverness Partick Thistle. Sorry, but you should get game time, and hopefully from that he can start developing again, because he's sort of, as you can see with his stats, he's sort of started where he's developing, and it's a bit disappointing to see. I was hoping he'd develop a bit more than what he has, and it just hasn't been the case. Ronan Miller goes away to Preston. They're paying most of his wages plus, I think it's 10k a month. Yes, confirmed. So he's away out on loan to Preston. Not made an appearance yet, which is a bit frustrating because that was the whole point of this loan, but still some money in our pocket. We covered Vincent Sasso. Brian Davidson also away to Ipswich, where he's already made an appearance. They're paying 25k a month. I didn't really want to loan him out, so I sort of played a bit more hardball with him. Hopefully can go down there, get some games and come back a better player nonetheless. William the World are good. But he was getting some games here. He was up to 22 games and did have a goal under his belt as well. So again, just hopefully we can develop that. Declan Rice is a player who I was trying to sell. I couldn't, and I decided, why don't we just send a... Kilmarnock came in with a loan offer. It wasn't a great loan offer by any stretch of imagination. No wages paid, no fees, but I thought if he can go out, get some football, maybe increase his value again, maybe build some confidence, we could maybe sell him in the summer. And that was just my thinking with that, because he's not going to get any games here with the players we have in. Jamie Walker, another player, tried to sign. I just could not get rid of him for love nor money. So we've managed to get rid of 10% of his wages, is basically where we're at. He's gone to Bristol City. I was desperate to try and get rid of him, but nothing materialised, unfortunately. I was lowering and lowering his valuation. I think he started off almost about a £3 million player, and he's now down to 1.7. I lowered his valuation that much. So a bit disappointed we couldn't get rid of Jamie Walker either. The only other thing of note is Luis Navarro was recalled. He's now played 2 games for us and doing well. Will compete very well with Bruno Lorenko in that advanced playmaker role, and we can start to develop him now. So I have to give him game times, because we can't afford to not end up in a situation similar to what we had with Mark Mitchell. So because he's foreign and Bruno, non-EU, and Bruno Lorenko is EU, that's sort of been playing a bearing on why I'm starting him over Lorenko, even though I think Lorenko is a more complete player right now. So Larenko's going to get slightly less game time, but Navarro's younger, will develop hopefully a bit faster, will catch up hopefully and maybe surpass Larenko in the future, ability wise. Anyway guys, that is going to wrap up this January transfer special. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.